Hey, Cleared Professionals. Last episode, we talked about outgrowing your mission, the cynicism, the lost curiosity, the emotional detachment, the slow, quiet realization that the work that you've been doing no longer feels like your work. If that episode resonated with you, this one is the next step, because feeling like you've outgrown something and actually knowing when it's time to leave are two very different things. And in the cleared world, where the stakes are higher, the decisions are slower, and the golden handcuffs are very real, you need a framework for making that decision with discipline. No emotion. Today, we're going to build that framework. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Beyond the Badge. I want to start with something that I think trips up a lot of higher performers in this community. And it comes from a good place. It really does. A lot of cleared professionals have internalized the concept of ownership so deeply that when things aren't working, their first instinct is to blame themselves. The program is struggling. I could have done more, they said. The contract is mismanaged. Well, I should have escalated sooner. The mission feels off. Maybe I'm the problem. And look, that kind of accountability is valuable. It's what makes great operators great, okay? But taken too far, it becomes a trap. It keeps people in situations they should have left years ago because they kept convincing themselves that if they just try harder, communicate better, work smarter, that things would change. Sometimes things don't change. And knowing the difference between a situation that you can fix and one that you can't is one of the most important career skills that you will ever develop. So here's the framework. And it's built around one core principle. You leave after you've exhausted all of your options, not before. That's the standard. Not I'm frustrated, not I had a bad quarter, not my manager and I don't see eye to eye. Those are not reasons to leave. Those are reasons to engage. You leave when you have genuinely, methodically exhausted every reasonable option to make things better and nothing has moved. Let me walk you through what that actually looks like. Step one, identify the problem specifically and raise it directly. Not vaguely, not in a hallway conversation, if you will, specifically and directly to your immediate leadership. In the cleared world, this might look like the tools your team are using is outdated and creating security risks. The program is understaffed and mission timelines are slipping. The contract structure is creating friction that's hurting retention. Whatever it is, name it clearly. Bring data if you can. Bring solutions if you have them. And give your leadership a real chance to respond. Not a one-time mention in a status meeting. A direct, documented conversation where you've made the problem and its impact unmistakably clear. If they engage and things start moving, great. Stay and help fix it. That's what ownership looks like. If they dismiss it, move on to step two, which is this: escalate. And I want to be honest with you here. Escalating above your direct leadership is uncomfortable. It carries risks. It can create friction. And in the cleared world where relationships and reputation are everything, going above someone's head is not a decision that you make lightly. But here's the thing. If you've raised a legitimate issue that is affecting the mission, affecting your team, or affecting program outcomes, and your direct leadership has dismissed it, you have a responsibility to escalate it, not out of frustration, but out of ownership. Go to the next level, make the case again, bring the same clarity, the same data, and the same solutions. Give that level of leadership a genuine opportunity to engage with the problem. If they engage, stay and help fix it. If they dismiss it too, you now have critical information. You know this is not a communication problem. It is not a relationship problem. It is a culture problem. And culture problems at multiple levels of leadership are very rarely fixed from below. Step number three, make one final push. Before you start putting your resume out, make sure that you truly left nothing on the table. Is there a different approach that you haven't tried, a different relationship that you haven't leveraged? An all hands, a skip level, a direct conversation with a decision maker that you haven't had access to yet? Exhaust it, all of it. Not because you owe the organization unlimited patience, hear me out here, but because you owe yourself the certainty that you did everything that you could. That certainty matters. both for your peace of mind when you do leave and for how you talk about it in your next interview. Step number 4, when nothing has moved, start moving. This is the step that most people delay for way too long, okay? They've raised the issue, they've escalated it, they tried every angle, nothing has changed, and they still stay for another 6 months, maybe another year, waiting for something to shift that has shown no signs of shifting. And at that point, staying is not loyalty, it is inertia, in my opinion. And inertia is dressed up as loyalty and is one of the most expensive mistakes I've seen cleared professionals make. When you have genuinely exhausted your options and nothing has moved, it's time to update your resume. It's time to have that conversation. It's time to start exploring what is next. Not impulsively, not emotionally, methodically, okay? With the same discipline that you bring to your work. Now, I want to address something specific to the cleared world that makes this harder than it sounds. The fear that their clearance won't be there when they need it. I've had this conversation hundreds of times over 17 years. Cleared professionals who know they need to leave but are terrified that if they step outside of their current environment, their clearance won't transfer, their skills won't translate, they'll lose the financial security that they've built. And here's the practical first step that most people skip, okay? Before you even start your job search, go talk to your FSO. Your facility security officer can tell you exactly where your clearance stands, whether it's active, when it was last investigated, what the status looks like. That conversation takes maybe 15 minutes, if that, and it eliminates the guesswork entirely. You want to go into your job search with certainty, not anxiety about something that you could have confirmed before you even started. Because here's what I've seen over and over again. The fear is almost never as justified as it feels from the inside. Your clearance is yours, your skills are real, and in most cases, the market outside of your current contract is more competitive for your profile than you realize because you've been inside one environment long enough to forget how valuable you actually are on the outside. Talk to your FSO first, then move with confidence. And here's the other side of this that I think is equally important. Leaving the right way 100% matters, okay? In the cleared world, the community is smaller than it looks. The same names come up on multiple contracts. The same program managers move between companies. The same recruiters work with the same agencies for years. Your reputation follows you in a way that it simply doesn't in commercial industries. So when you decide that it's time to go professionally. Give proper notice. Complete your transition responsibilities, okay? Don't burn bridges on the way out. Don't vent on LinkedIn. Don't badmouth the program or the customer or the leadership. Leave it in a way that the people that you're leaving behind would still vouch for you 2 years from now even, okay? Because in this industry, they very likely will be asked to, okay? Here's the bottom line. Leaving is not failure. Staying in a situation that has stopped serving you, your growth, and your mission after you've genuinely tried to fix it, that, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, is failure, okay? That is how you slow the erosion of your potential that nobody talks about, but everyone eventually feels. You did the work, you raised the issues, you escalated, you tried every angle, and nothing moved, okay? That is not a reason to stay. That is a reason to go find the environment that deserves what you bring to the table. That's a wrap on this episode of Beyond the Badge. If you've been sitting on this decision longer than you should, I hope this gave you the framework to move forward with clarity instead of guilt. Share this with a fellow cleared professional who you know is stuck in that in-between place. Because sometimes people just need permission to make the move that they already know that they need to make. Connect with me on LinkedIn, follow us on YouTube, or find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Just search Beyond the Badge. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.